You guys can see all right, yeah? Because those they were killing. They were killing.
Why don't we not only turn these down a little bit more, but bring up the house lights so we can see the people?
Yeah. Bring them up a little bit.
But while they're working on the house lights for you,
We got it.
I'll stand back here, see if this helps.
Okay, we got it. What?
It might be me. Might be me. So while Will sorting this out, what has it been like for you to kind of reunite again and come to visit Birmingham?
Wow. What is it like to reunite? I don't know. It's still a work in progress, you know. We're enjoying ourselves. It's good to see so many people interested in the history of television in the 70s, and particularly our show, lasting over 40-something years. And hey, it's been great.
What's it like to be reunited? I'll tell you how it's like.
I got a new love.
We do enjoy each other a lot, and we.
Is this me? Is this me?
It turned up too high at some of us. Ooh.
Okay, that's better. Yeah, it's we don't get a chance to see each other much other that often. Antonio's in Las Vegas and what's his name is in Los Angeles, and I'm in London. And we see each other maybe two, 3 times a year. But we've been going on now for 42 years, so we always stay in touch. We're the best of friends. And it's really great to be reunited. And,
Yes, sir.
yeah.
All right, you're on, Paul. I have nothing to say. You can't hear you anyway.
Yeah.
I have nothing to say. No. All kidding aside.
Oh, my God.
It's really a pleasure to be back with these two. We spent so much time together. When the series was over, we swore we'd never see each other again.
It didn't work, obviously.
Starsky and Hutch broke a lot of ground during its time and set a precedent for what was to come in television and film. How much of a legacy do you think that has been left behind, and what is it like to be known for having left that legacy?
Sorry, folks, this is very difficult to understand. You may understand it out there, but up here we can't.
The question is, you heard the question. They want it.
1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Okay.
So how does it feel to have left such a legacy behind? Well, I'm not dead yet.
Not what?
Dead.
No, we're not dead yet.
No, we're not dead yet.
No.
So we haven't left it behind. Something like this happens. It's something that it's a confluence of influences. It's luck. It's timing. We have very little to do with how it happened. We did our best work we could do, and you folks filled in the rest. So you should have your own answers. We all live our lives. We all leave legacies, and it's just an honor to have been appreciated and to have been appreciated for so long. It's cross-generational now. Now we have parents inflicting us on their kids.
Yeah. Well, I think very proud of this very small part of our lives, which is the legacy of Starsky and Hutch. I am most proud of my children. That's the legacy I leave. And That's, I think, the most important thing of the family. This is fun. This is entertainment. And the fact that people enjoy the show and have for all these years is a testimony to it. So, you know, with a show like we did, like, you know, that many years ago with only 3 channels, where we come into people's homes and it becomes part of the family. I can't tell you how many people stop us and say, God, I grew up with you guys. Well, I'm very proud of that because I hope we brought something, you know, happy and good into your homes. That's it.
When you know, you never realize as actors who have a burning desire to do the best they can, to be a part of something, and when we do a show, it's almost like planting a seed, you know, and we are not responsible of how the seed grows, but because of what we put into it, sometimes it turns grow into this beautiful experience that we're still experiencing today because, you know, the rain and the sun and all these things have just grown us into the fruit that has bared more fruit, and you are living proof of that.
So, ladies and gentlemen, it's now time for you to ask your question. So if you'd like to put your hand up, I will bring the microphone around to you. So please feel free by going straight. Let's see, straight away, lady, right at the front here.
Hello.
Hello.
Sorry. I'd just like to ask if you've ever borrowed the car, driven in front of Asda and sort of slid across the bonnet, or just in character at all.
Do you understand it?
Did you ever borrow the car when you were on set, and did you then drive it around and then go somewhere and then jump across the bonnet just for the heck of it?
Oh, God, no.
I only got in that car when I was told to. Next question.
Right, let's
You
go
have to
to...
remember that we're actors. Acting is different from real life.
So, you were my heroes as I was a teenager. You were my heroes. I loved the show. And I was just wondering, when you were young, who were your TV heroes?
Who are our TV heroes?
When I was younger, I watched a lot of TV, and as I grew older and in the business, I didn't watch too much.
You forgot what a TV was.
I had a black and white TV when I came up, and little things like that. So way before your time, but I was fascinated by what I saw, and then when I started participating and creating what I saw, I sort of disconnected because I was more busy creating. But I'm a fan of a lot of actors, a lot of work, a lot of TV shows. I get a lot of laughs out of Get Smart and older TV shows, and even some of the stuff today when I care to look, you know, I'm amazed by how we've grown.
I think for us, for me at least, or for us, because we're of that age, television was not such a big part of our lives when we grew up. And that is the most formative years, and the years where television or film, in my case, made an indelible imprint. So we grew up with film actors, not celebrities. We are not celebrities, we are actors. And that's when that word, celebs, or celebrities, is a totally manufactured word. It doesn't mean there's nothing to celebrate. What are you celebrating? No, they're actors. So my favorite actors back then were the ones that came into my home. Let me finish. Oh, sorry, I thought you were talking to us. What I grew up with was what my mom liked. She loved Clint Eastwood in Rawhide. So Clint Eastwood was a guy that I had a lot of, I don't know, I was in awe of him, especially when I first met him. And then I got to do Magnum Force with him, a film, and found that he was a normal human being, just like and that's great. And he was a wonderful director and a terrific guy, just a good fellow. And then, in being out in Los Angeles for as long as we've been, I've been out there for 27 years, he's been out there longer. You have a chance to meet and get to know a lot of people. You don't know them well, they're acquaintances, but you find out how normal people really are. And that's really refreshing. That we are, it's a job. You do the job, you don't live it, you do it. And that's a good lesson for acting anyway. Whatever you do, do it. And that's the best advice I can give to a young actor. So that's my, I forgot the question. I go, yeah, it was. Yeah. That's it. That's it, guys.
I'm not an actor, I'm a celebrity.
You are, I celebrate you, Paul.
I know, but that's between you and me. We don't talk about that. We show it, but we don't talk about it. David makes a very good point. The movies was what we were brought up on. Television was not a very big part of our lives. And the journey of celebrity is a strange journey. I used to here today, gone tomorrow. You're being thrown out?
Yeah, I'm being thrown out because I'm taking pictures.
Well, that's not cool.
Right, our next. Sarah.
Let's give him a hand.
Turn this. Can you? There you go. Right.
Next question.
I thought for a second there, I thought this was
Right, we have a
one of
question.
Donald Trump's campaign
We have,
campaign events. They kept throwing people out of his campaign.
Next question.
we have a question for this young man.
Hello, David, Paul, Antonio, great fans of yours. Came all the way from Bradford again. Saw you in Liverpool. Thank you for your time. We had a fantastic interview. My old mother is 80 years old. She's a big fan, my mother. She can't be here today. And David, this is to you. It's a little question, a request. You were a prolific, fantastic singer. And two of your songs, Silver Lady and Don't Give Up on Us, were charts. I was wanting to know if I can have 10 seconds if you'd sing with me.
No.
For my mother. My mother's watching. 10 seconds, 15 seconds. Yeah?
The union rule.
Sorry. Here it goes.
Don't give up on us, baby.
Don't give up on us, baby. Don't make
My turn.
seem right. Thank you. God bless.
What key was that?
Sorry, Z key.
That's what I thought. Don't throw up on me, baby. Don't make the wrong seem right.
The future isn't just hope.
And we have another question from a gentleman here.
Next.
Thank you for being here today.
Thank you for having us.
Bernie Hamilton was a great part of the show, I thought.
We loved him.
Did he remain good friends with you?
We cared very much for Bernie. Bernie was.
We love Bernie. He's not with us anymore. God rest his soul.
And we have a question from a lady here in the middle.
Hello. Hi, Paul. Just to say thank you for the entertainment that you brought in singing in 2009. If you could relive your life again, if someone came up to you and said, we're going to make a film called Starsky and Hutch, which characters would you take? You can't have your own, so which one would you choose to be?
I want to be Antonio.
I'd probably be Antonio.
Right, we have another question for a gentleman here in the middle.
Thank you. It's great you're all here together. It's brilliant to see you.
Thank you.
But a question for Antonio. Is it true there's going to be a Huggy Bear spin-off? Thank you.
Well, there was a time we did a show called Huggy Bear and the Turkey, and I'm not sure who the turkey was, but but it was another guy, and it was one of those situations. When I look back on it now, I was in a very good place with these guys, and just the thought of having my own show, I think it was kind of daunting, and I sort of equated to when the Fonz was part of Happy Days, and they wanted to spin him off and do his own thing, and he decided to stick with the guys, stick with the family, and the rest is history. So I feel the same way. I'm glad we did do a show. It was very interesting, and but I got to do 4 years with these guys, and I'm very happy with that.
And a question from a lady.
We are too.
Hello. I grew up with you in the 70s, absolutely brilliant. But how did you feel when they remade Starsky and Hutch with Ben Stiller, Owen Wilson, and Snoop Dogg?
Paul and I have a difference of opinion here. I hated it. But that's because I didn't. He had more of an investment in Ben, right? Well, we were friends, and it's hard,
Go ahead.
I tell you, I just, I thought it was a nice tip of the hat for a while, and then the film was it wasn't Starsky and Hutch. It was forced, in my opinion, really forced, and I didn't like it. So that's my answer. Simple.
I thought that any time that you do something that is iconic, it's a compliment. It's a compliment that they make a picture. It could have been a lot better picture. It could have been a picture that tried to capture the chemistry or the relationship that we all had. But the director and the film just didn't want to go in that direction. There's no way you can make Starsky and Hutch again, because there's no way we can go back to the 70s. That's just a fact. So you either take the chance of trying to recreate the chemistry or you spoof it. And that's what they did. It's a compliment, and that's very nice, and it's business. It's a business.
It was so much a part of the 70s, wasn't it? I mean, our show. It really was.
Next.
We have a question in the front.
Starsky and Hutch.
Can't.
Is it on? Starsky and Hutch took on the series took on a lot of controversial subjects at the time, such as rape, gay episode, abuse of little children, occultists, things like that. We saw Aaron Spelling show up in the gay episode, make an appearance. It really feels, looking back now, that the production really wanted to take on these important subjects and show them to the wider public. How did you feel about it at the time?
I think that a lot of that was David's influence. David was very, very, and still is, very involved in social awareness, and I think that was his bailiwick.
Yeah, I think it was light. Aaron Spelling was a good businessman, and he had an instinct for what people would like. And the show and the tenor of this show was these two guys were rebels and taking chances, and they cared personally the same way the characters cared about each other. And for me, to take on those subjects, I mean, as a character actor, I did a lot of roles that other people didn't do in that time. I played gay roles, I did drug addicts, I did all of that stuff because it was part of my experience in terms of what I saw and also what I felt and also what I did. So those subjects were we had because of the heart of the three people that you see here, you know, we cared about what we did. So it's the way we approached the material which gave it that pathos, and I'm very proud of that.
No, that's a very good question you ask. I think once, you know, he's quite right about Aaron's spelling. The first year, maybe year and a half, well, that first year, we touched on something. It was the first year that we did the fix, and that was a journey into some place that was really, really touchy, you know, on television. That was the first time we did that. And in fact, it was banned in this country. They would not show it on the BBC. It's when when the Hutch character gets strung out on heroin. And we went through that was a very, very, for television, it was a real challenge. And not only for the guy who was hooked, but for the friend who came to look after him, and for these guys, and that really kind of sealed a relationship there. And then we decided that you know, as the show went on, there's only so much you can do with lightness. There were also all kinds of problems, as you pointed out, then that could be dealt with. You know, racial issues, as you point out. How do we did a show about where Hutch doesn't want to use a weapon, a gun anymore. Where he falls apart, says, I can't do this. You know, that was dealing with the whole idea of guns in America, which, as you know, is a completely different issue than it is here. It's really gotten out of hand, but these were all groundbreaking shows at the time. So I think it was important that we got into some of these deeper subjects and introduced people to them from our point of view. And as Tony points out, there was a pathos and how shall I say it, a kind of empathy with people who had to live through this stuff. So that's about all I have to say about it. Thanks.
And with that, ladies and gentlemen, that is all the time we have for our panel today. So please join me in giving a massive round of applause to our panelists. David Soul, Paul Michael Glaser, and Antonio Vargas. And the gentlemen will be signing and doing photos with this afternoon as well.